Happy Valentine's Day. I've got my Valentine shirt on, got from Temu. Well, I don't have a Valentine honey at the moment, or for a really long time. So I thought I'd do a story time about how I met and, oops, come on, behave. I met and my first date and up to the proposal of my, come on, ex-husband. That's as close I get to a romance. This does not want to stay up. There we go. So I had a girlfriend. I think I was a senior in high school, and her mom worked the night shift, the graveyard shift. So she was not there from around 10 o'clock at night till 7 or 8 in the morning. So she was the perfect person to spend the night with because my parents didn't know she wasn't there, so we could kind of do whatever we wanted after she left for work. And, we'd go on a date until we'd be home by midnight, and of course we would just do whatever we wanted. So my girlfriend had a boyfriend who was the president of a car club where they had antique cars or race cars or whatever, and they had a club car that they were building up, and the vice president they were setting me up on a blind date with. And I don't drink at all. I have never drank and don't like the taste of it, don't do well with it, any of that. But I had this cold, so my girlfriend gave me a hot toddy to kind of fix my cold. And just that one hot toddy, and I was like, hey, drunk, just off that one toddy. So my soon-to-be husband, eventually, blind date, shows up, and he thinks he's getting lucky because I'm drunk, but it wore off pretty quickly. But so we went to this party that one of them had heard about, and so we go out to this party, and I don't know if y'all know what Hells Angels are. They are a motorcycle club out of California that is into all kinds of shady things. So we go to this party, and it turns out there were Hells Angels at this party. And we're like, what do we get ourselves in for? So me being me, I'm in the kitchen kind of helping set out food and stuff, and there's like brownies in the oven, and I take them out, and somebody's like, they could recognize me as the good girl I was. They're like, I wouldn't be eating those brownies if I was you. Turned out they were pot brownies. So not that long after that, we bailed on that and left, and we just went back to my friend's house and talked for a while, and that was the end of that first date. It was quite an adventuresome first date. And then our second date, our actual first real date, just the two of us, we went to a Righteous Brothers concert. Do you remember the Righteous Brothers? Love the Righteous Brothers. You've Lost That Loving Feeling, and Unchained Melody, and, or are those the same? You've Lost That Loving Feeling might be a line from Unchained Melody. I don't remember. But anyway, so my boyfriend at the time, we were both living in Northern California, and it was Vietnam years. We got married in 68, so this was 67 still, because I was still in high school and graduated from high school in 67, so it was late 67, right before I graduated probably, so spring of 67 maybe. And he didn't want to get drafted in the Army, so he was trying to go in the Air Force, but they had the field he wanted to go in had a waiting list, so he's like, well, I'll just stay on the waiting list. And then he gets his draft notice from the Army, so he basically calls the Air Force up and says, I'll take whatever you want to give me. I don't want to go in the Army and go to Vietnam and get shot at. And I was throwing a toy for the dog in case you wondered what that whole thing was. And drop it. Give it to me. Good boy. Good, drop it. He's trying to learn drop it, but they had taught him tug of war, so he's still not quite getting the drop it thing. He thinks a toy is for tug of war. because that's what he was taught by his previous owners. So I'm trying to teach him drop it so I can throw it for him, because you can't throw it if we're doing a tug of war. Good boy, good drop it. And as soon as I say that, he picks it back up again. So anyway, so then he goes in the Air Force, goes to boot camp in Texas, which is just where their boot camp is, and then he eventually went for his MOS. I don't know what it stands for, military something, and it's the field you're going into. He was a radio relay repairman, which is basically microwave stuff, but not microwave like ovens, but microwave like giant microwave dishes that send, signals and things. So he went to Mississippi for 9 months for that training. So in the meantime, we're just, right before he left, he came back after boot camp, and before he left for Mississippi, I had, in the meantime, graduated from high school, and my parents moved from San Diego area up to just below Los Angeles area near Disneyland. And I had started college at 17. I started college because that's just the way my birthday fell. I started everything young. So I think it was Jack in the Box, maybe. I don't know. It wasn't McDonald's. I think it might have been Jack in the Box. But we're sitting in the parking lot, and that's when we're sitting in the parking lot eating our food. That's when he decides to propose. Romantic, huh? He's just like, yeah, when I get back from training, we should get married. That was it. And I'm 18. He's 20. So he couldn't even get married I could get married without my parents' signature, but a guy had to be 21 at the time in California. So he had to get his dad's signature notarized in order to get married. So we got married when he got out of training in fall of 68. Well, June of 68, actually. And then he went to Japan. He got stationed in Japan, and I went to join him a few months later. So that's my romantic, not very romantic, how I met my husband and we got married story. 15 years later, we got divorced, but I got my 2 boys out of it, so it was worth the time. And he's a nice guy now. He wasn't a nice guy for a lot of years, but he's a nice guy now. So anyway, that is my Valentine's story. Do you have a how I met my husband or wife, whatever story? Yeah. Mine isn't that romantic because we ended up getting divorced, and it wasn't that romantic to begin with. So happy Valentine's Day, y'all, and be watching. I'm going to have a Easter Dollar Tree collab coming out soon. I'm not sure what date. I'm going to film mine pretty soon because I'm not sure when I have to upload it, and I may be gone for my sister's memorial, so I'm going to go ahead and film it probably today, actually. So you may see these same clothes for the Easter thing. All right, love y'all. Happy Valentine's Day. Somebody out there loves you, even if you don't have a husband or wife or boyfriend, girlfriend, any of those things. There's somebody out there that loves you, especially Jesus. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.